Yo, what's crack-a-lacking, guys? How's everyone doing? It is Monday morning at 10 a.m. here in Sydney, Australia. Hopefully, everyone's doing well. Hopefully, everyone's having a good weekend. Hopefully, in Australia, your week started out on a positive note. I live in Sydney, Australia. We just experienced a very horrific, just unfathomable terrorist attack at Bondi Beach. I don't want to talk about too much. I just have to mention it because I live right near there. And when people ask me, why do I choose to stay in Australia, in Sydney specifically, I always say because of the peace of mind. Having grew up in Northeast Ohio, crime riddled Youngstown, Ohio, just living in America. In 2013, when I moved here, I never thought there'd be a time where I'd turn on the news last night and see images and videos of Bondi Beach, a place where whenever my friends come to visit, family come, you go there. It's idyllic. And so I just want to say, wherever you are in the world, hopefully you're safe. Hopefully, you treat each other well. And I just want to, that's all I'm going to say about that. I try not to get too political. But other than that, we had a big weekend. We have a big week ahead. We have a big week ahead of boxing. I told you guys last week that from Thursday night onwards, we have like literally almost 7 straight days of boxing. So we have today off and tomorrow off, but then we have the fights in Sydney. I'll be at the Tim Tszyu fight against Velasquez. So I'm going to be uploading my Velasquez versus Tim Tszyu breakdown. Also, guys, if you haven't joined the Discord, the link is here, pinned in the chat. It's a couple bucks a month. Get access to our professional betting VIP Discord, as well as a lot of you guys. At least 20 of you have messaged me on Instagram, have messaged me on YouTube, emailed me. Some of you guys live in Russia. I know, like, there's certain parts of the world where Google that you're not allowed to put your credit card details into Google. So for whatever reason, you guys were asking me to start a Patreon. I started a Patreon this morning. That's the link. It's the same exact. If you're not in the Discord and you're unable to sign up on YouTube and you want access to the Discord, you now could sign up via Patreon. And if you are already signed up in the Discord and you want to support me even farther, support me so I could do this full time and continue to on this journey that we're on together, support me on Patreon as well. That link is pinned here. It's also going to be on my YouTube channel. It's also in my Instagram details. Other than that, we're about a couple minutes and let's get into this. I'm going to say my what's ups to everybody. Dwayne Styles in the house. I've never watched John Cena in my life. Sorry to disappoint you. Hit the like, player. After I said the John Cena comment, he's gonna be like, "Don't like this video." I don't know, man. I've never watched. I'm younger though, or I'm older though, bro. I stopped watching wrestling in the '90s when what changed my life. The wrestling moment that changed my life was when Shawn Michaels turned heel on Marty Jannetty. And then Shawn Michaels also beat up Brutus the Barber Beefcake at the barber shop. You don't know about that. You don't know about the Rockers. You don't know about the best tag team of all time. That's why you looking at me. You don't know about when Shawn Michaels turned heel on Marty Jannetty. Y'all cats will never know what that felt like on a Saturday morning when you're 9, 10 years old and you see your favorite tag team break up out of nowhere. That's what I'm talking. So I don't do all them little John Cenas. I don't be watching all that. I don't got time for all them new wrestlers. But them '90s wrestlers, I'm gonna get at you with that. I'm gonna get at you with that. King of Fitness, my man, King of Fitness is always eating, boy. Julius Bama, Dwayne, any locks for tonight? I'm gonna put my locks. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna start using that Patreon for all the bets too, guys. So this is full transparency. I will put every single bet up. Football, because I started the Discord and the YouTube channel as Johnny Says Boxing, but maybe maybe I could use the Patreon to put all my bets up because I just try to focus on boxing on this space. But I hit on NBA all the time. I hit on pretty much. I gamble on NBA props, NFL props, MMA, and boxing. Velasquez is there to be on that. Yeah. Yeah, there is a fight, though. Check out the Akuso fight. Akuso's fighting a real one. We'll pull up the odds in a second. There's some good odds on this Australian card. I think there might be an upset or two on this Australian card. And the Akuso fight is one I'm looking at. I'll bring it up. King of Fitness met Nathan Campbell this weekend. Former boxer drove to Jacksonville to spar in his gym. Nice. Nice. Drove to Jackson. DeVille. Duval. Duval. You remember when the Jags hired that new coach and everybody was like, who the fuck is this guy? And he gives that first interview and he's all creepy with it. He's like, Duval. That's all I think about. I want to eat too before I fly. Mom ass fly. Where are you flying, Dwayne? I'm a Wizards fan, so they never hit. Don't bet on your team, Dwayne. Don't bet on your team. That's some advice my dad gave me back in the day. Never bet on your team, man. I'm gonna pull up the odds. How'd you guys do this weekend? We hit our parlays. We hit we hit a lot. We hit a 6-legger. I hit MMA. But yeah, our reads were spot on. Our reads were spot on with Cordina. Pacheco made us sweat, but I don't buy into all this. You guys are hard, man. The commentators were fucking horrible last night. I couldn't believe how much shit people were talking about Diego Pacheco. I couldn't believe how much trash. You know what? I'm going to pin this. I'm going to give my 2 cents on Pacheco. Here's my 2 cents on Diego. Because I gotta say this. Okay. Firstly, I know that the analysts, I know the promoters, I know they all have their ulterior motives on why they say things, when they say things, what fighter they choose to side with. They all got, a lot of these former fighters are analysts and they still train and spar and they have guys in camps and they're trying to position their guys behind the scenes to get big fights. So maybe the top dog in their guy's division is fighting. And guess what? The dude behind the mic could talk shit about that guy to try to lessen him down. But it's like all the shit the analysts were talking about Diego Pacheco, a few different sides to that token. One side is that he was in there with a guy who was 26-0 with 23 knockouts, a grown ass man with his grown man strength. Not one time were they saying, if you're going to talk shit about Pacheco's performance, then give props to Sajo's performance in the moment, not afterwards, in the moment. If you're going to trash one. The age of these commentators in real time trashing fighters in the ring is freaking horrible to me. This is why I don't trash fighters. It's what, when I see content creators who are behind a screen like myself calling fighters bums and I'm friends with this guy, but he's a bum. It's like, you're not friends with him and you wouldn't say that to his face. And any grown man to call another grown man bum, that's a projection. So what's lost in the Pacheco scenario is that he won. It was a fair win. He did enough to win. People were like, oh, he was grabbing and clinching. What are you talking about? Did anybody watch the fight? Sajo's entire game plan was to flood and smother and hold. Now, what do you want Pacheco to do? The whole time, the analyst is like, I'm not even going to say his name. Diego's fighting the wrong fight. What are you talking about, man? He's trying to fight his own fight. He's trying to figure out on the fly in real time. Once again, for a 24-year-old kid, a 24-year-old kid. I'll be 44. So I'm a 43-year-old man. That dude's a 24-year-old kid. For grown-ass men to be calling him a bum is shocking to me. I didn't mind the fight. I like that he got dropped and that he was able to overcome that. He does. I think there's some issues with Omar Villanueva. Now, in his corner, people have to realize Villanueva it's his new head guy, but he's been with Diego the entire time from the Pacific Northwest. Just because he left Benavidez doesn't mean he just found Villanueva. It wasn't necessarily for me a disconnect from Omar to Diego. What I noticed was a void of sort of like the head lion. Benavidez wasn't there. And you kind of got to see that because people forget Diego's still a young dude. And there were some rounds where he needed an older type of cat who could talk to him in a certain way, not even necessarily with the strategies, because you could, Omar didn't really, I wasn't too happy with the strategy or sort of the advice that he was giving Diego. But in a fight like that, a high stakes fight, when your young guy gets floored and he's going through some adversity, sometimes he doesn't need to hear strategy. Sometimes he just needs to feel that he has that leadership, that support of the lion. And I felt like that was missing, obviously, because Benavidez wasn't there, and nobody said that. The optics, they weren't great but Pacheco did enough late. I thought Pacheco stunned him in the 11th or 12th, and he's still figuring things out. Like I said in my breakdown, 168 is a grown ass man division. You know what I mean? Not many 24-year-old kids at the top of the mountain at 168 pounds. So you got to look. You got to look at Diego for what he's learning on the go. You know, that's back to back. You know, Steven Nelson, um, Trevor McCumbee, and now Saggio. Combine all the records together. He's just taking dudes O's. He's beating real veterans, and he's still undefeated. He's going to learn from it. So I'm not that mad at the fight. We knew it was going to be tough, and it's just funny to see how many people talk shit about a kid. So we're allowed. We're allowed to critique fighters. I'm not saying that, but there's one way to critique a guy, and there's another way to bash a dude because you lost a bet. That's what I'm talking about. And end quote. Cardenas. Oh, dude, he looked good. Cardenas looked good. Papago, Arturo Papago, he looked real good, man. Cesar Vaca started off strong too, but after the first few rounds, I had Vaca up early, and then after the first few rounds, you started seeing why people are high on Popaga, and I felt like having a guy like Vaca, Popaga needed a guy like Vaca to bring that out of him. His timing. When you started seeing Arturo Cardenas get Vaca's timing down, and then the jab. The jab was for me the most impressive thing from Popica, and then but you know Vaca was there the entire time. We knew Vaca was going to be tough. He was my dog of the week. Looked good early. He got dropped, and you just got to see it, like Cardenas was the better boxer. He was faster. He was stronger, and Vaca was just outgunned. But not mentally though. Vaca was there the entire time. It was a fun fight. Nonito Donaire is fighting Tsutsumi. Big underdog here, 42 years old. Last time I bet against Nonito, I lost. We'll see. We'll get to that tape. I was scared it was going to end like McCormick. He was moving unnecessarily like Pat. Pacheco getting hurt if the yeah, that's a dangerous fight for him. I'm not going to lie. That's a dangerous fight. Shiraz has a bit of a mean streak. And I think that's what Pacheco's lacking. It's almost like Pacheco is lacking what Shiraz, in my opinion, does really well. There's like an aggressive side to Shiraz. There's like a sort of edge to him that I feel like Pacheco sometimes, it's almost, he doesn't have the gear. I don't know if he doesn't have the gears, but sometimes he just gets stuck in this sort of, gear one to me. Nonito is fighting someone with a pulse this time. Yeah. Facts. Let's check those odds. So this is the fight. The Paulo Cuso versus Shukrat Abdullayev fight. I have my eyes on for upset alert. It's a good fight to break down. Abdullayev, good amateur. Fought Aman Khatiev. He's been in there, he got some class. Paulo Cuso, people are high on a Cuso too, though. He could crack, he could punch, big dude. It's an interesting fight. Ahmad Rita's, I put asterisk by his name. We watched him fight last time against Bruno. I always forget Bruno's last name. And Rita won. Rita looked good. Rigo's a younger guy. Ahmad Rita. Callum Peters, people world ranked. This guy, if you've never seen Callum Peters fight, and Cody Beacon, man, domestically a good guy. Cody Beacon's always going to come in shape, technical guy. I think he's going to be outgunned and outclassed. That's those odds. Princess Alaskawaga fighting. Fun fight. Every time Princess fights, I'm tuning in. Cone Mazudera versus Molinaro. This is a nice little 50-50 Aussie domestic dust-up. Takami versus Santiago. That's a good fight. That's in Japan. We have so many fights this week, guys. There's 2 cards Wednesday night. There's the card in Australia, the card in Japan. Sammy Boy fighting Tyler Blizzard. We'll see how Sammy looks off of his rebound loss from Nick Ball. Zoo versus Velasquez. I put a poll up on my Instagram for this fight. You would think it would. I thought I was expecting 90-10 for Tim. It's like 50-50 right now. And then Tsutsumi Donaire. Yeah, this is a close fight. Are those odds a bit wide? I mean, Donaire is 42 years old now. Let's pull up Tsutsumi. Now, Julius was on the live stream late last week. He was talking about this fight. I think Julius is leaning on Donaire. Vasoli's fighting Wednesday. Johnny, does Pacheco beat Petrella? I don't know, man. Does Pacheco beat Charlo? I'm just getting caught up with you boys. Sent from Pat. Are you confident in Tim Zhu? The opponent is fighting just based on experience. Zhu should win. No, Zhu should handle Velasquez. Velasquez hasn't been in there with anybody. I don't think so. I don't know. What version of Charlo are we getting? Like a legit, sober, switched on prime Charlo? Prime Charlo walks Pacheco. But we don't. It ain't prime Charlo though. $43-8 Donaire. He's 43 years old now. Andres Campos, the Argentine. So let's look at Tsutsumi. 12-0, 3 draws. Look, Julius brought up a good point. The reason why I'm hesitant on Donaire are the obvious reasons. Old head, age, long in the tooth. The reason why I'm hesitant with Tsutsumi, he gets hit a lot. Head on the midline, doesn't slip, likes to crack. What's Donaire's best punch? That lead hook. Yeah, it's a fun fight. I'm tuning in. Yeah, the Brits are high on this kid. There are 3 cards on Wednesday. This is insane. It seems like TMA Ayton fights every weekend too. This will already be her 4th pro fight. She's already ranked number 32. This girl's getting a lot of pub right now with Matchroom. TMA Ayton. She fights. She kind of fights like a dude. That's a compliment. Young too. She's a teenager. It seems like she's always fighting now. October. Yeah. So she turned over in June. This will be her 4th fight. Her 4th fight since June. So they're kind of setting her up for a big 2026. Fun fighter if you haven't seen her fight. She's just getting started though. Vasoli Wednesday. Mervin, I hit my parlay. Everybody should hit. We should have all hit. Well, every pick, we hit. I told you to take Tito by knockout. Mercado made us look good. Sky, Joe Cordina made us look good, and Noel. Said Noel was going to beat Badu and Diego. So we hit all of our picks on those cards. Hamza Pacheco fight isn't going to look like 2 draws fighting. Win Santiago. All I do is win, 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 win. Thanks for the super chat, big homie. Appreciate you. Keys up. If he doesn't stop Donaire, does he win on points? Bobsley, drop him. Yeah. Donaire's output. You got to be worried about. Look, you got to be worried about Donaire's output. I think it'd be too much for Donaire. Tsutsumi breathe. Yeah, I'm not betting again. Look, before you guys asked me, I was leaning on Tsutsumi. Even after Julius, bro, if you're here, you almost talked me into Donaire though. But I'll rewatch the tape. I don't think Donaire is going to have enough endurance. I don't think Donaire is going to have enough volume to keep up with Tsutsumi. I think Tsutsumi pours it on him. Donaire versus Tsutsumi. There you go. Okay, I like it. Let me check. I got a little sneaky prop bet real quick. I got to see if my boy's running the ball or not. Come on, Jahmyr Gibbs, boy. We got a lot of action, boys. The Niners are beating the Titans. Dude, Seattle's losing to 48-year-old. My man, Phillip Rivers is playing. Phillip Rivers got 10 kids. He got enough kids to play 5-on-5. Full court. My man's fertile, boy. Bo Nix. All right, I just need Jahmyr Gibbs out here, and then the punk-ass Seahawks to score a touchdown, and then we still good. Carolyn Dubois. I had to look at the upcoming schedule. Guys, we got fights all through the holidays, through the new year. We out here eating. Everybody should be eating. I posted in the Discord. You boys should be eating. When you look at Mike from Melbourne, my guy. Chev Clark, I'm sure you guys saw all this. But I'm just going over the weekend that was. Cesar Vaca got outworked. Arturo Popoca, man. Cardenas looked great. Diego, I already talked to. That's Cordina. Cordina fought really well. He wasn't happy with his. Cordina wasn't happy with his performance, but I thought his performance was great. Sky looked good. Yeah, Sky's check hook was good. Tito Mercado, we hit on the knockout. Tito made us look good. I love during fight week though, guys. You always get those conspiracy theories either in our Discord or on our chat. What's up, Chris? Chris Weeks in the house. You always get those conspiracy theorists who try to make you second guess things, like Antonio Moran's gonna man, Tim Mercado knocking that dude out. Shut up. That's how I wanted to react last week, but I can't. I have to be a businessman, so I didn't react like that. But I told you take Tito by knockout, and now I could say, all you guys out there, shut your ass. Tito Mercado, look, he's not. I mean, I don't think Mercado's gonna retire undefeated. Like he's a little bit too wide with his punches for me. He throws sometimes his hooks look like he's in the playground, like we're at recess in 6th grade, and he sometimes telegraphs his hooks too. It's like he's telling everybody what he wants to do. So when he goes in there but he could crack, man. Power is that good equalizer. And I'm a fan of Tito Mercado. But this was easy money. And shout out. I was being a bit hard on my guy here. He fought well. He didn't fight well enough to win though. Cordina big brothered him. Cordina was unking him. What a place to freeze the frame there. Cordina fought really well, I thought. And that ref was horrible, by the way. That referee in the Cordina fight, Gabe Flores fight, when he deducted a point for Cordina and didn't deduct for Gabe. Gabe hit Cordina in the dick like 5 times. They both had like 20 rabbit punches. It was insane. But that's the thing with a guy like Gabe. Gabe is skilled. He has good reflexes. He's quick. He just has no pop. He has no power. And when you have no power, even a guy like Cordina, who really isn't a, he's not a big puncher. He has more pop than Flores. He's not going to respect it, and you're not going to be able to get off. Pacheco got us our money. I think this is a bad matchup for Pacheco. I think this is a bad matchup. See, y'all better stop sleeping on LeBron too, boy. That's Akron St. Vincent St. Mary LeBron. Shitting on people. That's against Oak Hill. When Oak Hill had Carmelo. So Carmelo went to Oak Hill. LeBron went to Akron St. V's. We played against LeBron in high school. He went to Akron St. V's. I went to Liberty. Yeah, so this is a two-leg UFC I hit. Kevin Vallejo stopped Giga, and then Manel Kopp. That was easy money. Look, I'm a fan of Raw Dog Royval. It's just that he's one of those guys that, you know, he got in the game kind of late, and you could see it. He has a lot of holes in his game technically. And when you're going up against a guy like Manel Kopp, they call him Starboy for a reason. Manel Kopp is that dude. He's good everywhere. I want to see that rematch between Kopp and Joshua Van. And I want to see my boy Charles Johnson get a big fight. Why are we bullshitting on energy? All right, this is what I was talking about. Look at all that. Look, everybody's up. If you guys aren't winning, man, I don't know what you guys are doing. This is the Discord. If you guys aren't in the Discord, the link is pinned. Couple bucks a month. You get to chat. The boys are in the house. Shout out to Bernard Ruiz. He says, we up again. We up. Universe Boxing. He gave him the parlay. We up. Hold on. My man, he goes by Unknown. And look, you guys might not so he bet 60 grand. This is his style, though. He does it week in and week out. Now, we never see when he loses, but this is a 10%. If certain guys look at betting, if you have this bankroll, a 10% return of investment is how he's thinking. I don't think that way. I don't think betting is a return of investment. I think betting is gambling. It's definitely not investing. So you bet like this, you win 6,000 to bet 60,000, you better have a bankroll. This is an interesting fight. We told you about Badu Jack was going to lose, so we're good there. All right. I'm going to skip the next 5 because I don't want to. This next bit on my story, it was happening in real time. It's heartbreaking. About 5 miles from my house, we had a terrorist event last night. And I'm sure you guys heard about it. So I'm going to skip through this. I talked about at the beginning of the stream. I just don't want to. It bums me out. I've had friends who were there. Luckily, I didn't have any friends who got killed. But I do have a friend that my friend's father is missing. So you're going to see the next few. I don't want to talk about it. Okay, this came in when I went to bed last night and woke up to this one. So this was a 6-legger playing plus 211. This is the one I gave the boys to. And that's the look, nothing's going to blow you away, but I mean, when we're getting plus 211, let's go. Sky money line, Lopez, Tito, Mikhailian, Cordina, and Pacheco. And there was some shit that made us sweat, but hey, that's boxing for you. Venado fought last night in Mexico. I tried to stay up for this one. This was on YouTube, so we watched that. I'll pull this up for the boys. This is the card. This is Sydney. I'll be at these fights. So there's some good fights on this card, boys. Tim Tszyu, Velasquez. I just don't. Velasquez hasn't been in. This is Velasquez's chance. I'm interested to see what Tim Tszyu looks like, having gone to Pedro. His new coach, Pedro Diaz, the doctor. Pedro Diaz, Sam Goodman's first fight since the loss to Nick Ball. Tyler Blizzard, he has some game to him. Callum Peters versus Cody Beacon. Koen Muzudair versus Dominic Molinaro. Jason Fawcett, if you've never seen him, he's a fun domestic guy. Fawcett spent time. Shout out to my boy Kane. Spent time. I've seen Fawcett fight a few times. He's really one. Jason Fawcett is one gear, and it's all gas, no brakes. I'd like to see the young kid add elements to his game because there's something there. There's a little bit of pop there. There's some grit. He's gritty. It's just he has to add more feints, move his head. I want to see him add levels to his game. And then Ahmad Rita. I talked about him earlier in the stream. If you've never seen Ahmad Rita fight, this kid is legit. And then Paulo Akuso versus Abdulayev. Akuso's a big favorite here. Guys, this is the one where I'm thinking upset alert. So Akuso versus Abdullayev. If I were to go upset alert this week, people are high on Akuso. You know, rightfully so. You know, Abdullayev is almost a 4-1 dog here. I think those odds are way too wide. Abdullayev, he's mixed it up with. I'll pull up his pro record and his amateur stuff. Only 5-0. Damn, he's 35 now. Tapal. You know, he was an amateur guy. I'm not using BoxRec because BoxRec's making me sign in, so I'm going to go back to SportsBet for the boys. Best boxing miser. I appreciate you, Julius. Our boxing group is legit, man. Our boxing group is legit. Nah, Tim ain't losing this fight, bro. Tim walks Velasquez. You think Badu retires? Maybe. Maybe he fights Jake Paul. Yeah, this is horrible. Yeah, Velasquez, buddy. Velasquez just hasn't been in there with anyone. No UFC for 6 weeks. Love how UFC got the main card starting at 3 a.m. instead of 4 a.m. in Central Europe. Troy Williamson getting stopped on Saturday. Who's he fighting? Shout out to Troy. Avius Griffin versus Cardona. Remember we were all high on Avius Griffin? All the boys. We all were high. We were drinking that Kool-Aid. Ramon Cardenas is fighting. Damn, there's a lot of fights. Callum Simpson versus Troy Williamson. Yeah, I agree. Shout out to Breaking Bad live betting. I'm joining with UFC even though I'm not. Yeah, the live betting. A lot of boys win a lot of money live betting. You guys heard about Zuffa Boxing make the return January 23rd with a 200 roster of fighters with 12 cards. I didn't check. I didn't look into that yet. I'll check it out. Boxer card on Saturday. Hella buy. Bro, there's so much boxing. Let's get this money. Yeah, I'm ever more. Let's go, Chris Weeks. Let's go, Chris Weeks. Akusa knocks him out. What are you talking about? Upset alert. I don't, man. Adu, try to find the amateur footage of Shakrot versus Aman Khatiev. People were sending me. I get shit sent to me all the time. I feel that people. Are sleeping on his opponent. He's talking about Paulo Cuso. Yo, hi, I got a nice DJ parlay. You appreciate Diego knockdown and went a little maybe touch. Let's go. You know I'm all about that DJ parlay, Jake. I need Seattle to get up though. That's the last one I need on my parlay. Craig Richards in every parlay at that price. Amon-Ra St. Brown. Yeah. I'm up. I need the punk ass Seahawks to win though, man. They're tripping. The Seahawks are struggling with freaking Phillip Rivers. You gotta love DGen parlays. Same. I need Seattle too, man. Aussie parlay plus Big Money J. Boys, hey guys, so I'm uploading Tim Zoo and Velasquez right after this. So I'm gonna cut this short. This will probably be one of my shorter live streams, but I'll be live again one more time today. So I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. And then I'll be going live twice a day all week. Make sure you join the Discord. The link is pinned. Make sure you subscribe, like this video, and